Well, hello, YouTubers. Joe here. Just a hair before 4 on Thursday, August 29th, 2013, and for those who follow me regularly, which seem to range in number between 4, 7, 8, 9, or 10, depending on the topic. Sorry about clawing at my eye like a weasel here. A lot of pollen in the air, and I don't want to drug myself down with the Benadryl just yet. So, as those of you who have been following me know, today I was going to read at church. And so today, this morning, I woke up and I tried to sleep in a little bit because Paul and I sat up last night and watched this episode of Silk on Masterpiece Theater on the internet. Now, I had watched it the other night and I thought he might enjoy it, and he did, I think. I know I enjoyed seeing it again. So after I got in the chemo chair and just absolutely had to check my email and do all this kind of stuff, I didn't really get my head down properly at about 10:15. So anyway, got a reasonable start, and I finally copy and pasted the funeral readings into a separate document, and then I could print that out. And it wasn't as urgent an issue as it was in previous funerals, but I'm glad I did it. I did 2 copies. Now the judge, always does his the same way. Well, he uses a slightly different program, but he does the same thing and has been doing it. Plus he laminates his. He's got this wonderful laminated series of various readings. It's great. I may have to try to imitate him and emulate him at some point on that, but so it went well. Got there very early. I actually beat the judge in, and everything got, all the stage managing got planned out, and everybody knew where they were going to go and what to carry and when to move and this, that, and the other. So it went well, and our new organist did a pretty bang up job. As near as I could tell, she only dropped a couple of notes, and she played about 7 selections. So nobody knocked the urn off of the stand. I've not seen that happen, but I'm told that occasionally that does happen, where somebody bumps into the. See, they put it on a stand in front of the altar. Now you would think there'd be sort of like a no-go zone around that, but when it came time for the commendation, say that real fast. When it came time for the commendation, all 3 of these folks, Charles and Roseanne and Karen, got up behind this thing between it and the altar, and there wasn't but a little flange of space, about maybe 18 inches between the altar and the edge of that step, and then the next thing was where the stand was. And 2 of these people are pretty hefty folks. They've got this long flowing stuff on. I mean, you can flap that stuff around and knock something off easily. Although this was a pretty heavy thing. This was in some sort of marble thing, and plus, you can burn somebody up into ashes, but you're still going to get about 3 pounds of ashes when all's said and done. Well, that's 3 pounds. Heck, that's like a block of cheese at a deli, isn't it? But he didn't get knocked over, and it went real well. And our crucifer, who just had a hip replacement, she did an excellent job. I mean, she didn't need her cane. She had a special connection with these folks because she's from Germany and the fellow was from England and his wife's from Sweden, and so that went well. So tomorrow we have another fellow who's from England. Interestingly, these two guys went to the same university, University of Birmingham, and both worked in the metal industry. The guy today was a professor of metallurgical engineering, and the guy tomorrow was involved in foundry work, pouring bells. They made a lot of bells, and so we'll do that tomorrow about an hour and a half earlier than today. So this thing starts at 10:30, so I need to get my behind up there by about 9:30. So I need to leave here about 9:10. So that's good. I get to do Revelation 7 tomorrow, washed in the blood of the Lamb. Wow, what a great reading. I think I touched on that yesterday. Paul just got home. Hi, Paul.
Hey, Joe.
And so I actually took the plunge and brought this alb, I call it my dress, home today and washed it. This thing, particularly around the collar and the armpit area. Now the collar, gets the sort of that yellow staff alba stuff. It stains yellow on white material, and of course under the armpit, there's a little bit of that. Although I don't, I always wear a shirt under it. Usually two shirts. One shirt I wore though was my green wool shirt, and when it was, fairly young, it tended to, in the sweat, it tended to leak pigment. So we had some greenish stains. So I got this thing home and I rubbed all these areas with Fell's Naphtha bar soap, which of course Fell's Naphtha was originally a laundry soap, and I put it down in the machine, just it on delicate, and ran it with extra rinse, and sort of half the water, and then so half the detergent and half the sodium carbonate, and this thing came out just great. I mean, this thing came out just great. And the machine didn't beat it to death, and it was almost dry from the spinning, or the rinse spin or whatever it did. I didn't go down there and watch it, and I know I'm talking real fast. I'm talking like a YouTuber. I'm talking real fast. How do you like my hair? How do you like my hair? So I just folded. I just put it out in the back. I thought I was going to hang it up and put it in the bag. I just put it out in the front seat of my truck, and I'll drive it up there tomorrow. It'll be fine. So that's basically my adventure for today. So I'm going to say bye-bye now for a moment, and maybe Paul will have something to say here in a moment or two. We'll see. Paul's scratching his head. But in the midst of all these flies besetting me, I remembered that I didn't tell you about one of the best parts of the service, and it was the ending hymn, the exit hymn, and it was Onward Christian Soldiers, which, as some of you know, is considered to be very politically incorrect nowadays. I sang it lustily and with great joy. I haven't sang this, or haven't sung this since I was a kid. So of course, when we're sort of having our cluster F at the back of the church after the service, the two female clergy, well, I'm sure our male clergy would have said that too. I'm surprised Charles let them do this, frankly. We're carrying on about, it's just oh, it's so terrible, it's so reminiscent of all the horrible things that, Christians have done. Look, there's going to be bad individuals no matter what religion you follow. Seeing as how Christianity is the truth, it's far more egregious to be untrue to the truth by doing some of the things they did. But on the other hand, I'm going to tell you right now, it doesn't seem to me that there's too many, Christian armies, patrolling the world, qua-Christian armies, killing other people in the name of being Christian. So, there. So, Onward Christian Soldiers. I'm not going to sing it today, but it's a great tune. That's what's a great tune. So, I listened, I sat there, stood there and listened to, this sort of, so I said, that's a very carefully and wonderfully articulated point of view. I said, that's certainly one point of view. She says, well, thank you for listening respectfully to my point of view. Of course. I said, of course. I said, but it's a great tune. She says, well, I need to go home and write some new words for that tune. Well, I'm sure somebody has already done that, but I have yet to hear it. But, sure, go ahead, write some new tunes. Emphasize self-abasement. Well, of course, self-abasement is, self-abasement isn't part of, being humble is one of the tenets of Christianity, but being self-abasement is not. Just self-abase, to lose any sense of yourself. I'm being beset by insects. I'd hit him with my hat, but I take my hat off when I make these things. So we got to sing Onward Christian Soldiers, and it was great. We sang this all the time when I grew up. So I basically didn't need to use the hymnal, and I couldn't in any case because I was carrying one of these oil-filled torches. Now don't get me started on these oil-filled torches. But that was in addition to my reading jobs. Henry and I, in addition to our reading jobs, we had to walk around with these oil-filled sort of faux candle-like torches. It's all right. It's neat. It's fun. It's pretty. Beauty is part of religion as well. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to say well and truly now, bye-bye, YouTubers. Well, like a moth to the flame, it occurs to me to say, and this was prompted by a question that Paul just asked me. He says, what's wrong with Onward Christian Soldiers? And I said, well, it sounds too militaristic. Well, the opening line is Onward Christian Soldiers marching as to war, not marching off to war. They're not talking about sending a Christian army of actual soldiers off to go off and kill other people. You're talking about people that nowadays might be called prayer warriors or faith warriors. They're talking about people who go out and spread the news of the truth of Jesus Christ as inaugurating once and for all by his incarnation and advent, and then of course by his passion, death, resurrection, and ascension, that the kingdom of God, the kingdom of heaven, is here on earth, and it is certainly accessible here on earth, and that we can create it, but it is here on earth if one but reaches out their hand to grab it, to interact with it. And that's the message of the song. This is not let's go out and shell people with chemical weapons, or drop a 2,000-pound bomb on them or something. That's not the message of the song. Not at all. So, these people need to be more careful in how they read the lyrics critically.